Welcome to Gun Owners of America's State of the Second podcast. I'm your host, Kailey.
And John, and this is where we talk about the 2A community, the gun industry, and how it affects you.
So this is the very first podcast that GOA has done that is an interview style podcast. So this is super exciting for us.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we have a ton of cool companies coming on.
Yeah, we had Century Arms on. We had EOTech, Canic.
The conversation with all of them have been great. And this is just kind of, it's we're kind of peeling back the layers of the industry and getting some inside information and things on their input about things affecting the 2A community as well.
Absolutely. And what I love about all of the conversations that we're having with these people is not only are we seeing the industry, but we're seeing how our members and our activists are affecting their business and able to really bring home some wins for the firearm industry.
Right. And we get to see what new products they're coming out with, and they get to talk a little bit about things coming up, which is really exciting if you're really into the 2A community. Kailey, why are we doing this podcast?
So this podcast has been designed so that we can have an honest conversation with those in the industry and those in the Second Amendment community at large, and really go back down to impact. I mean, if you think about it, culture, politics is all upstream of what we're facing as an industry and as individuals. And so with our focus on activism and GOA's role in the industry, we're taking people along for the journey.
Kailey, so the big thing about this is we're really diving into the policy through the industry side, which has not been done before. Me, myself, coming from the industry, this is new and foreign to me a little bit. So learning about the policy from you and talking to the guys and seeing how it directly affects them, this is just a new concept that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, I mean, I think that GOA has always done things a little differently. I mean, we were founded in 1976. We're not the new kids on the block. We are an organization that is different, and that's why we're excited to do the podcast. And I also think it's interesting because we're not pulling from like the general people who are doing Fox News and our other media. We're having people who are just in regular departments that are running this thing. So I hope we don't get fired for it, but it's just it's a honest conversation, and it's gonna be fun.
So we're pulling from a ton of different parts of the industry. We've got Century and Canic, EOTech is going to be on. We've got Classic Firearms, which is from the retail side, Elite Firearms from the FFL side as well. We've got Gun Fund, which is a Target company. We've just touching all these bases, and we're looking to also expand. We're going to have, content creators and different people getting their input, which a lot of people don't get that side of the industry often.
Yeah, I think that there's a misconception that the firearm industry is small just because it's a tight-knit group. And so I'm really excited to be able to bring the conversation and show just how large the Second Amendment community is in supporting the industry and overall all of the different facets within the industry, right? Like everyone has their role to play and they play it exceptionally well. And so we're going to just have fun with it.
By pulling from different parts of the industry, we're going to have different people on that talk about things that affect them differently. I mean, not everything that affects Canic is going to affect EOTech. Everything that's affecting EOTech is not going to affect Gun Fund. The things that are affecting the FFL and the brick and mortar things are not always affecting the online thing. So getting the different side of the stories of what policies are affecting what companies, it gives you a real insight on not only, what we need to do as a community to push forward and strive past these pain points, but also to join together to fight some of these things that are attacking our Second Amendment.
Yeah, I mean, no one's story is going to be exactly like the other person's story, right? And that's really exciting from like the listener's perspective, but also we're not just talking about being in a defensive mode 100%. We're going to be addressing state policy and things like the Shall Not Be Infringed Act and the Shush Act, which are, offensive place in restoring the Second Amendment. That's the critical part of GOA. Our mission is to protect, defend, and restore the Second Amendment. And so allowing everyone to kind of see the field as it is going to be really exciting for, I think, overall understanding how we can band together and ultimately win some ground.
Right. And the big thing is we're really humanizing the industry and giving the people these names to go with. I mean, one of the greatest conversations we're probably going to have is with Battle Buddy 3-Gun and to get their side of things. There's a lot of small niche groups in our industry, and bringing them all together to get the human side of the story is going to really drive people in.
Yeah. I mean, that the hope is to share a story that no one's heard before, right? And to make this a place where we can build our own community within GOA, and hopefully we can add some members along the way.
Right. And, guys, if you're listening to this or watching this, go to gunhunters.org, become a member. It's only $25 for the year. You become a member, you're helping us fight against these policies and attack on our Second Amendment rights.
And this podcast is a little bit different. Like I said in the beginning, we've never done a podcast like this before. And we've also never done a show with ad reads before. And for those of you who, just cringed at that moment, I want to make it very clear from the onset, these ads pay for this show so that we can continue to fight for the Second Amendment with our members' money. And so these are additions that some wonderful companies have done to allow us to bring this sponsorship so that we can continue to bring lawsuits like our zero tolerance policy case, like the pistol brace cases, like the bump stock case before it. So GOA isn't slowing down in any way because we're launching this media avenue. Because of the support of the Second Amendment community, we're able to increase our visibility and share their stories. And I'm really excited. So this content's going to be a little bit different than our members are expecting. But I want them to understand, and I want you who are listening to understand, we're doing this for a reason.
Yeah, and reaching out to the people when we told them about this, the industry has been very receptive to this. They're really interested, and we get to give them the backstory that they may not always get to share. You're not going to see some of the conversations that we're having on their social media platforms. You're not going to see them do this very often, but it's a chance for them to voice their opinion and talk to us, in a way that really brings out the best in all these people. It's not just the companies, it's also the individual stories that we're going to be hearing from these people that really brings us together.
Absolutely. GOA is the no compromise gun lobby, right? And our members are no compromise. And now we're finding people in the industry who stand by our no compromise mission. And it's really exciting to be able to be in a group of people and say, you know what, we are no compromise and we are standing up for our Second Amendment rights. We're tired of, nickeling and diming away the Second Amendment. We are here. And we're loud, and we are going to stand up for what is right. These are natural rights. And it's so critical because just as we've seen with things like gun confiscation orders or red flag laws, the Second Amendment has a lot to do with the Fourth Amendment and the First Amendment. And so bringing this all together and being able to share GOA's story, our history, the battles that we have fought with alongside of our members that have affected these guys and are affecting our members today is super exciting.
No, it brings a level of excitement that I haven't seen from these guys in a while. They're very, like I said, they're very receptive, but they're also very excited to come on here and hang out with us and talk. I mean, these conversations are going to be an hour or two. And we're just going to talk, and we have fun. There's going to be laughs. There's going to bring tears to our eyes a little bit. And that's what we want. We want to hear everybody's story and how they've kind of, where they started and where we need to be as a community.
Absolutely.
And the great part about this is that, if you're listening to this, you're going to have, you could be a community member and you want to, see how you can be more active in the 2A community and be an activist. If you're a part of the industry and you're listening to this, this is an option. This is an opportunity for you to come and join us and talk about you and what affects you and what legislation impacts your business. Same thing with the FFLs. If you're a dealer, what is impacting you? We want to hear all your stories. We want to know, how is this stuff impacting you? Content creators, everything. We want to know, the 2A community is a strong community, and bonding us together under the common goal of GOA is what we're trying to achieve here.
No, absolutely. And I also think that this podcast is kind of that on-ramp for many people who might be on the fence about gun ownership, or even those that are right now sitting there being like, oh, I'm adamantly anti-gun, because, the media isn't able to, change the narrative of this show. You're going to see the human side of the industry and individuals that you might go, yeah, I actually agree with them after all. Because there's kind of no hidden agenda. Everyone is kind of on the same page here. And so it's a place where you kind of see our true colors.
Well, and to add on to that, if you are a new gun owner, this is a way for you to understand that this community, it's got the stigma of being, old. It's got the stigma of being angry and pushing you away and not wanting you to join. And what we're really finding is that that's not the facts. That's not true. This is a very diverse and very welcoming community, and we want you to be a part of it. We want you to join us at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And we welcome you with arms wide open, so to speak, right? Before we kind of end this introduction to the State of the Second podcast, this is episode 1. I do want to say that we have seen such incredible support for this podcast, but we've also seen support from the industry stepping alongside our activists this year in 2023 that we've never seen before. And I think we need to call out some recognition here. So GOA sent 3 coalition letters that I want to talk about here. The first one being our Caliber Club Coalition, which was our Gun Store and Range Coalition, our No Compromise Alliance, which is our industry partnership. And then we had our 2A Action Alliance, which is content creators in the industry that all band together and sent letters alongside our activists to help in the passage of the bipartisan House Joint Resolution on pistol braces. And so this is the momentum that led to this point, is everyone coming together on a common cause. And we're excited to take this to the next level. And this podcast is just one of those avenues that's never been done before. We had never done a situation where we had multiple coalition letters like that, but the support in the 2A community has just been overwhelming as we fight these battles together. And I think that should be applauded from day one. This is not a industry versus the individual gun owner. This is a true community partnership to move the ball of freedom forward.
And if you want to support GOA, go to gunowners.org. If you want to join the Caliber Club, reach out to us. If you want to join the No Compromise Alliance, reach out to us. If you want to join our 2A activist group for content creators, reach out to us. We are here with open arms to welcome you in. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and reach out to us. We are happy to help any way we possibly can.
And don't forget to follow us on social media. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, go ahead and give us a 5-star review. It helps us move up on the metrics greatly. We appreciate any support that you have for us.
And to follow us, it's at State of the Second completely spelled out. If you want to follow us on all the social platforms, as well as if you want to email us, it's stateofthe2nd@gunowners.org. And we will happily try to get back to you as quickly as possible. And all this information can be found in the description below. And again, like Kailey said, make sure to like, share, subscribe, share this with as many people as possible. Give us a 5-star review. This helps us move up in the algorithm, and that way more people see content like this.